calling for our invocation and our Pledge of Allegiance.
I thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time, I would like to call Minister Tracy Adams to the podium for our invocation.
Thank you, sir. Greetings, everyone. Let us pray. Most gracious God, our Father in heaven, we thank you for allowing us to assemble together. And where there are two or three gathered together in your name, you are in the midst. I ask you, Father, that you allow this meeting, God, to be a meeting that will bring results to our city, God. That also will bring you glory, but also will bring the city of Waycross, oh God, the victory. I pray, God, that you continue to be with us all. Help us to make the righteous choice. Help us to do what you have assigned us for us to do, and to bring you glory, and to bring your Son Jesus glory. It is Christ Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We want to thank our Commissioner Nelson for calling for our invocation and pledge, and we also want to thank Minister Tracy Adams for extending the invocation. At this time, we look to our city's clerk for the reading of our decorum, and as she's reading the decorum, we're asking that the commission will look at the agenda for tonight, and then we'll receive a motion thereafter. Madam Clerk.
Section 2-66, Decorum. The mayor, commissioners, staff, and persons in attendance shall conduct themselves in a professional and respectful manner. Except when expressly authorized by the mayor, all remarks, questions, and comments shall be directed to the mayor and not to individual commissioners, staff, or persons in attendance. A commissioner, staff, or person in attendance shall not speak at a meeting until the commissioner, staff, or person in attendance have been recognized by the mayor and granted permission to speak or ask a question. All comments, remarks, or questions made by the commissioners, staff, or persons in attendance shall address the item or motion that is being discussed or be pertinent to the resolution, ordinance, or agenda item before the commission. No one shall make or use inappropriate, insulting, vulgar, obscene, and/or profane language or make any offensive remark or comments while speaking, nor shall anyone accuse any other person of being immoral, violating any law, rule, or regulation, or committing any ethical violation. Further, no one shall use this opportunity for public comment to speak about any activity undertaken for political reasons or ends, such as campaigning for votes before an election, campaigning for another person, making speeches, attempting to raise funds, etc., or otherwise promoting oneself or one's private position. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commission, we have heard the reading of our decorum. Let us keep it in mind as we move forward in our meeting. At this time, we entertain a motion for the receiving and approval of the agenda.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we receive on this day, July the 1st, 2025, the agenda for today.
Very good. Thank you. Second from our Commissioner Nelson, first from our mayor, or first motion from Commissioner Bennett. Any discussion, questions, or remarks concerning this agenda? Hearing none, we move into voting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. This agenda is approved, and we move forward in our meeting. Look to our city's clerk. Do we have any public remarks on official action?
No, sir, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Having none, do we have any executive duties?
We do not, Mr. Mayor.
And at this time, we'll look to our city's manager for our city manager report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Previously, you had given guidance to create a summary of the GMA training this past weekend, and I did put it together, but we had some competing events over the weekend and today, so it's about 85% complete, but I did want to provide the commission this version. We did get feedback from the staff and some commissioners. This will give time for other commissioners to put feedback if they want to. Once they have all that compiled feedback, we'll redo this, and I will share it with the commission, and then we'll post it at that point in time.
Very good.
So this is the GMA 2025 update. This is the lessons learned, and these were the 5 main takeaways that the staff developed and some feedback from yourself, Mr. Mayor, and some of the commission. And I'll go ahead and read these just for those who can't view it because it is small. Communication is the key component of all municipalities' activities. Community action is essential in reaching shared learning and sustainable change. Sustained success and community growth are dependent on collaboration at the community, county, and city level. Public servants must be lifelong learners and stay abreast of updated policies, training, and trends. All policies must be goal-oriented, clearly defined, clearly understood, clearly researched, and descriptive in nature. And that last line down the bottom, we don't have to think alike, but we must think together. And that came from one of the employees that attended training during one of their sessions. So that's a lesson learned. And before I move on, Mr. Mayor, I'll pause for recommendations or additions.
Commissioner, if you have any additions or recommendations to be added to the city manager's report, the floor is open now for that opportunity. You may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. These next few slides will just outline the classes that each commissioner attended, select staff, department leads. And then, Mr. Mayor, what we did next, on the next set of slides, we went ahead and provided summaries of each of the courses. Now, these are just the general summaries of the, as far as the goals of the course. We did not go into any detail, but once we post this or publish this, we're gonna try to put up links to some of the training, but that training, you can only see so much because you have to be enrolled in the training. And these start the summaries. And hopefully those viewing online, you should be able to expand that on your phone. Now, we did add that feature because we realized that it's kind of small, the words. And this is the finance. This is the communication between cities and colleges. And then, of course, the court systems. This is the public policy development, conflict resolution, taxation, and then water and wastewater systems. And again, to those who might be watching or listening, once we update these slides, we will put in, and then once it's approved by the commission, we will submit an official report on our training and traveling from the GMA conference. Roles and responsibility of the council and staff, regional approaches, changes in demographics and best practices, economic development. Let's get social. That was more aimed to social media platforms, human resources, ethics, law enforcement services. Local government debt management, that's one of the finance courses, capital improvement programs and plans, and of course open records. Mr. Mayor, the next set of slides are going to focus on the action plan from the training. And once again, it's a brief summary. It's not fully in detail, but we did want to provide a quick snapshot of some things that we learned and how we can put it into full application here at the city. It won't be all the courses. Like I said, we didn't have time to hit all of them, but it will cover the majority of them. And it kind of outlines again what public policy development is. And I'll read the last sentence of each of these because it kind of defines what we're going to do for our action plan. And as far as the public policy, it just, we're going to use that training to better develop solutions to meet the requirements of our citizens. I think we had multiple people attend that class, and that is a core component of the commission body. And then conflict resolution. We use that training to better serve as a team and communicate better with our citizens when dealing with conflict. Roles and responsibilities of the council and the staff. We use this to have better communication between the commission and the staff, as well as key community partners. That's our key stakeholders out there that we work with every day, to include the county and our business sectors. Regional approaches. We use this training to establish cooperation structures and agreements, foster collaboration and build trust, and identify common challenges and opportunities. And this is more focused at, and I think we had 2 commissioners in that class, more regional concepts as far as being outside of Waycross, working with the cities around us. And then if we got any regional, from my understanding, any regional problem solved, we need to reach out to those other communities and try to learn from what they learn. And then changing the demographics and best practices. That's about us understanding the changes that happen daily, and us leveraging technology and innovation to meet those changes. Local debt, straight finance gear. This is for us to improve our bond management, also to prioritize our short-term debt and better manage our overall debt. And I will say, having debt is not a bad word. I think 3 of the commissioners attended some of the debt classes. You do want to have some debt and some reserves, so we got a lot out of that class. Capital improvement programs, one of the big deals for the commission, and we're going to use this training to better identify our capital needs, better prioritize our projects, develop financial plans, implement better monitoring of those projects. Of course, economic development, another big one. We use this training to better support local businesses, seek infrastructure investments, and I should have said through grant programs, place a strong focus on quality of life projects for our workforce and for our citizens, facilitate a downtown, and there's some misspelling, not correct that, market concept. I think we had a downtown market, or maybe development to the Downtown Development Authority, but we did see other cities that focus on the market concept, so we're going to do some research on that. And then, of course, foster collaboration with our county partners. That was a big one from the economic development course. And then this goes back in again to finance. And we use this training to better improve the budget process and create other revenue sources and improve accounting, tracking, and reporting as outlined by our audit. In open records, they gave us some new insight on how we do open records, and we're just going to have to improve some of our processes. It's more of a management thing, and some of our historical data management and what we can do. So we learned a lot from that particular course. I think 2 of us attended that course, and we'll follow up more with that at a later date. And that's it as far as this, Mr. Mayor. And again, I know everybody's not turned in the information they want to add to that, and I'll wait for that. Once we get all that up there and on here, I will present it again probably outside the meetings to the commission, and then we'll publish an official report for our citizens to kind of view.
Very good.
All right. And then for those who might be watching, this is just the city today report. I want to emphasize again, the report this comes out daily, and it covers all our interactions, what infrastructure is, what ground maintenance is, the tire crew, the tree crew, waste management, street sweepers, what projects are being done, what leaks are being addressed. As actually citizens, we're doing a lot of reports that we share for information. We also have on the web page, on our web page, we have the portal that covers all this in further detail. And I want to make sure, because we're putting a lot of effort into this, and then I'm not sure if it's just resonating with the citizens. I know this is new, but this is the best way for us to communicate, to get everything out to the community what's going on. So I'm just asking that the commission kind of push it a little bit harder as well, to include the app. All this is on the app as well. And all those questions that come in daily can simply be answered right here. Definitely is when is the trash person coming. It's right here every day for our citizens. And we do have also the paving streets again. And I add this time because we constantly get questions about the mosquito spraying. This is the schedule. We're trying our best. That's a big deal. We do have those 2 trucks now going around, and because of, I guess it's a bad mosquito season. You know, we can only get to what we can get to. So we're trying to get all those areas. We did incorporate some new areas that had not been hit before, so we're doing that as well. But that's the schedule. And again, when we say zones, I would ask citizens to refer to the zone maps, and they can better understand where the trucks will be. And the last piece, we do provide a financial update. Now, this is daily, but this report is monthly, as you know, and it should be up to what year? Up to May. So probably the end of July will be the final report for this past fiscal year, and then we start anew. But all this information, of course, the commission gets it before it goes out, and then we put it out to the general public. But I want to make sure that our citizens know it is here, and they can view it on the website, they can view it in the app, they can view it on Facebook. They can have email to them if they go ahead and if they want to, and just get with Director Simmons and get on the email distribution list. So these are forms of communication, and that is all for the city report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you for your report. Tonight, we have the First Friday, 4th of July celebration downtown Waycross Phoenix Park. The music, food, and fireworks will be at 5 p.m. to dark. Food trucks will be there, vendors. You can contact JD in our tourism section here in the front, and or Savannah for registration information. And Savannah is with our DWDA. And that's our announcement. Again, City of Waycross and Downtown Waycross Development Authority will be working with the First Friday, which is our 4th of July celebration, and it will be in the Downtown Waycross Phoenix Park. At this time, we look to our city clerk for our consent calendar. Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Approval of minutes, Waycross City Commission Planning and Information Session, Monday, June 16th, 2025 at 5 p.m. Waycross City Commission meeting, Tuesday, June 17th, 2025 at 5 p.m. There are no ordinance second readings, and there are no previous license renewals. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, Commission, you have heard the consent calendar read by our city's clerk. What is your pleasure?
Move for approval.
I have a motion for approval by our city's Mayor Pro Tem. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from our first district, Commissioner Roberts. We'll move into voting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Consent calendar passes. At this time, we look for our resolutions and then last call.
Mr. Mayor, we have 3 resolutions. The first one is a resolution of the City of Waycross, Georgia, to approve the contract for Urban SDK, Inc. to provide the City of Waycross with comprehensive speed and volume data collection services within the City of Waycross and for other purposes. By adopting this resolution, the City Commission will approve the City of Waycross entering a 1-year contract with Urban SDK, Inc. for the use of data collection services for the Waycross Police Department with comprehensive speed and volume data to be provided at a cost of $15,825, which is included in the FY26 approved budget, to assess and address the needs of the city related to speeding, traffic congestion, dangerous intersections, and severe motor vehicle accidents. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commission, you have heard the resolution read by our city's clerk regarding the Urban SDK, Inc. contract. What is your pleasure?
Mr. Mayor, can I get a point of information?
Yes.
Yes. Chief Cox can be here tonight. He's dealing with some situation right now. He wanted to clarify someone was put out yesterday for the commission. I think Commissioner Fetter wasn't here yesterday, so I want to cover that as well. So this data being collected it is not it cannot pinpoint an individual. Just for clarification, when business owners come here, they use cell phone ping technology just to get the amount of cell phones in the area. So that's how they kind of determine if it's a downtown market for a business. So this is not the technology that can pinpoint where Mr. Redford is at 2 o'clock and where he's driving to. What it will do is provide data on the number of cars and how fast they might be getting from point A to point B using the GPS data. So it's not that type of big brother technology or anything like that. It is simply statistics and data, And why we need this, because every time we have to get a request from commissioners or anybody for a stop sign or a speed bump, we have to collect data. And right now our data is kind of what I would call analog versus digital. We have to put a patrol car out there for sometime up to 2 weeks to determine how many cars, a proper car count, how fast they're going, all those things in nature. And then the city engineer has to follow up as well. So this will alleviate, I won't call it misuse of a police officer, but it'll alleviate them from doing that task. And this data is instant. So if the commissioner is to call and request a stop sign somewhere, we can have a justification the same day and they execute versus taking 2 to 3 weeks to do the actual traffic study. So if that makes sense. So Chief Cox wanted to make sure that was aware to the commission and the community. Again, this is not any technology that can pinpoint somebody's location or assisting them getting a speeding ticket. This is for data collection only to help the city make decisions, especially when it comes to safety. And I'll stop there, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
I entertain a motion now for this resolution.
Move for approval.
We have a motion from our Commissioner Bennett. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second from our Commissioner Nelson. Any discussion regarding this SDK Inc.? Hearing none, we move into voting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. The resolution passes. Madam Clerk.
A resolution of the City of Waycross, Georgia, calling for imposition of a county 1% floating local option sales tax, FLOST, and for other purposes. By adopting this resolution, the City Commission will approve the imposition of a 1% floating local option sales tax, FLOST, to be imposed in the Special District of Ware County, Georgia, for the purpose of ad valorem tax relief, with the proceeds to be used exclusively to reduce property taxes imposed by Ware County and the City of Waycross. The Commission will also approve an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Waycross and Ware County for disbursement of said proceeds. This resolution also updates a previous resolution and intergovernmental agreement adopted by the City Commission on June 3rd, 2025. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioner, you have heard the resolution read by our city's clerk regarding the floating local option sales tax and the intergovernmental agency agreement. What is your pleasure?
Move for approval.
We have a motion for approval by our Commissioner Nelson. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second by our Commissioner Bennett. Any discussion on this resolution?
Yes, Mayor.
Commissioner Felder.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, what will be the split between the city and the county regarding this 1% floss tax?
You can answer that. Yeah, 5842.
Same as the lost.
Yeah, same as the loss. I know there was some discussion about the county wanting to negotiate, but based on time, they pulled back from that. And I did speak with the county manager, and he okayed the current split, so we can get in on time.
And that's 58,
42.
42, 58 county, 42 city, or,
The city will get the majority of the money, Commissioner.
okay,
Yes.
just checking. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Any further discussion, comments, questions? Hearing none, we move into voting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Resolution passes. Madam Clerk.
A resolution of the City of Waycross, Georgia, to approve solicitation of bids for third-party vendors to offer grease interceptor maintenance and disposal services to local food services facilities and for other purposes. By adopting this resolution, the City Commission will approve solicitation of bid proposals for third-party vendors to offer their services in assisting local food service businesses in complying with the requirements of the city ordinance regarding grease interceptor maintenance and disposal. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commission, you have heard the resolution read by our city's clerk regarding the approval of the bids for the offer of grease interceptor maintenance. What is your pleasure?
Move for approval.
We have a motion for approval by our Commissioner Nelson. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second by our Commissioner Roberts. Any discussion on this resolution?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Nelson.
I would like for the city manager to to expound on that, because there's some misunderstanding that that will be forced on the businesses.
Correct, Mr. Mayor, Commission. So we only looking to provide the service, and we did some cost analysis. So once again, you have to think of those number of businesses. They pay individually, they would definitely be paying more than if we provide the service. But by no means are we forcing them to take this service. We do have a lot of businesses not in compliance, and this is more of a safety issue versus a revenue generating issue. The team did go out today, and we're going to send out letters first thing Monday. But we did go out there and explain we had some calls from certain business owners. We did explain to them the rationale behind this, and I think once we explained it to them, they better understood and they better appreciated what we're trying to do. There will be some pushback from some of the businesses. I go back again about compliance. That is already in the ordinance. They must be compliant with their grease disposal. And we'll deal with that once we come to that. But I think for the most part, the businesses recognize that this is, like I said, geared to safety and the sustainment and preservation of our water services. So.
And this is not just confined to Waycross. All cities are doing this thing.
Correct. That is a requirement in most city ordinances. And just to kind of explain the grease trap again, that grease, it does currently goes into some of our water and sewer systems when not properly disposed. And to circle back to yesterday's briefing, I think once we start doing those tours down the water and sewer plant, and people can see the amount of grease that makes its way down there and the impact it has on our overall utilities, they will better appreciate us trying to get these businesses in compliance. And with the compliance, I will say some of that might have been lack of knowledge and understanding. So we're going to actually do, this is a courtesy as we come through right now, to get them a formal brief. Definitely the ones that's in non-compliance. And I think right now we have, I think it was 82 organizations that are non-compliant. In some cases, they have been disposed of the grease on their own. They just not provide us with that information. So in some cases, well, not in all cases, if they've been doing it on their own and we get that certificate, then they'll be cleared as well. So.
That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Very good. Any further questions, comments, or concerns?
Yes, Mayor.
Commissioner Felder.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, you said that the city would provide the service of this grease disposal and it's optional for the businesses?
So right now we're trying just to do some research on the contract. They have contracted service to clean all the grease traps. So it's an option for them. It's going to be more cost savings for them versus doing it individually. I don't have that cost savings in front of me, but if you can just kind of appreciate that, some of the larger grease traps they have to do on their own, some of the restaurants, that alone is going to cost them quite a bit of money. The goal would be to provide a service, and they will come in on those bases of, I think, 30, 60, 90, and 180 days. And so that we one time in town, do all those services, and leave versus, coming and going or getting your own service done. On the preliminary research, we didn't find any major services close by. Ideally, we want somebody close by or even in town. Hopefully, that'll happen once we put that bid out. But again, it's just to provide the service for them, because the city, we provide at a minimum the basic services for our citizens. And then if they choose not to take that service, they still have to be compliant with the policy.
Thank you. And you said we have 82
Non-compliant.
businesses that are non-compliant?
Correct. And I'll say out of 82 is a few in there. They were getting their service, but they were not providing the documentation to us. And the community improvement director did go out today. He met with I'm not sure the total number. He did meet with a few businesses and kind of go over all that. So it might be some paperwork issues. And once we get that rectified, I'll come back with the new number. But for the most part, we do have a lot of businesses that simply didn't understand that policy, and they were disposing of it improperly, which can lead to fines and fees, and we'll look at that number as well. But like I said, I go back to the conversation about the business licenses. Some people just weren't conforming because they were not forced to, I guess. So that's the goal now, is to kind of have a forcing function for compliance.
Any further questions?
Yes, Mayor. I have
Okay,
a question.
continue.
You mentioned that there were other cities that had taken this route regarding businesses and this grease and scepter maintenance and disposal. Do you have anything to provide the citizens to show where the city that has adopted such a resolution has proven that this has been a cost benefit to not only the businesses but the city as well?
Yeah, we can. Actually, Infomark kind of brought the idea to me. And then while down at the GMA conference, you know, Savannah does this service too. And of course, Savannah has those ports and all kind of other challenges with stuff getting into their water system. So we can do that. We can put something together, and I can bring it to the next meeting. But like I said, if they can just think, and then if it's a situation where they feel like it's a savings to them, then all means, you know, use your own savings and just make sure you comply with our procedures. So, and if it becomes a situation where it's more of the businesses decide they will do it on their own, then we will adjust as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Any further comments or questions? Okay, we're moving to voting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. This resolution passes. Madam Clerk, any further?
No, sir, that's it.
At this time, we move to our last call. We'll start with our District 1.
Thank everyone for coming out. And I hope everyone have a good night and be safe. Thank you.
Thank you. District 2.
As always, everyone, we're pleased to see you. I think the staff for the job that they do, and also Public Works, they do a wonderful job. And the commissioners up here, along with the city attorneys and the city manager, and Miss Jackie, our clerk, and Patrick Simmons, I thank y'all for everything that you do. And everybody know I love fur babies. 4th of July is coming. Protect those fur babies. Protect those fur babies. Give them their calming medicine, whatever it takes. Protect those fur babies. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. District 3.
Thank you, Mayor. As always, it's a pleasure to see everyone out tonight and partaking in our commission meeting. Also, as a commissioner, I like to say that in our city, as citizens and as a community, when we do recognize that there are issues going on throughout the city that's impactful, not only to one district, but impactful to everyone, I think that as a commission, mayor and commission as a city, we need to come together to address it instead of not addressing the issue, dancing around it, and also avoiding the topics that do truly impact our citizens and our community. For me, as a commissioner, I believe that it's important for us to tackle these issues head on and stop avoiding them, not addressing them, not talking about them, or pretending that it's not happening, because it is, and it does impact everyone. As I've always stated, I think that we're a smart community, and my preference is always that we are more proactive than reactive. In so many instances, we tend to react to situations instead of seeing what's taking place and cutting it off at the head, instead of waiting to respond, and also reacting emotionally and not thinking clearly about how we can resolve the issue. And there are so many people, I believe, in this community that have ideas, that have suggestions, but they don't bring them forth to the commission because sometimes they think that they're not heard. But I can't speak for anyone else on this mayor or commission, but I do hear you, I know your concerns, and I understand this community and the community's needs. But I thank you all for always reaching out to me, for always sharing your concerns, and also allowing me to convey your issues to the city, because you are important. Your impact that you have here in the community is felt, and I do hear you, I do see you, I do recognize what you're saying, and also as a commissioner, I am your voice, and I will continue to be your voice for this community. Thank you. Back to you, Mayor.
District 5.
Nothing, Mr. Mayor.
Very good. We are reminded of the City of Waycross and Downtown Waycross Development Authority First Friday, 4th of July celebration. And this again is Downtown Waycross in Phoenix Park. This will take place from 5 p.m. until dark. In just a couple of words, we did put out a statement earlier today. Do want you to be aware that there are great things going on right now to take care of a situation that has taken place in our community. And we do see citizens that are here tonight we call for a meeting right after this meeting. So we'll look forward to having some conversation with those who are present tonight in this discussion. So at this time, if there are no further comments or questions, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment, and then we will remain for a small conversation thereafter. Is there a motion?
So move, Mr. Mayor.
We have a motion from our
Second.
Commissioner Nelson and a second from Commissioner Felder. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. This meeting is adjourned. Have a great evening. At this time, you can turn off your microphones